Hey YouTube, it is Matt with Reptiles, and we are here to film another one of our animal videos. We kind of told you we're going to go through a lot of animals, maybe all of them, maybe not all of them, kind of tell you a little bit about them, how they fit our plans, and what they really mean to us. And today, because I'm feeling froggy, is going to be a little bit different type of thing, a little bit different type of animal. It's an animal I need this for, which this is a key for those that don't know. Now, due to the extreme cold we've had, not right now, but a week ago while I was gone, I moved them into the warmer room because they are not a species that could handle that ambient temperature getting a little colder than I want. So this guy is in here. And it is a guy. This is a little boy. I haven't had him very long. Long enough, I guess. So let's see if we can't show him to you. Hey, you. Hi. He does have a little piece of skin on him I'm seeing right now. Really? You're going to make this super difficult. Now, you're probably saying, why don't you just tail him? Because he can spin around. But if you get them up on 2 points like this, they usually just sit pretty good, like you're seeing now. So we'll bring him here. You can see we do have a little piece of skin there that is stuck. We'll need to probably soak him to get that off of there. Shouldn't affect anything really from his last shed. Okay, there you are, buddy. So what are we looking at here, and why do I have this animal? Well, we're going to talk about that a little bit. This is what's called a rhino viper. I know, dude. I want to get that off so bad. I don't want to, like, you know, there's a little bit more on him. We will end up giving him a bath when this video is over, actually, because he's just got a little skin retention we want to soak and see if we can't get off of there. And that's just due to the winter, and it gets a little bit dry, but it should come off pretty well in the zone. His eye caps are good and clear, and honestly, his cage doesn't have a whole lot of extra light in there right now since we moved it for us to see in. So we don't always see things like that. But rest assured, we'll get that fixed. On a venomous snake, I'll talk about that really quick, because this is truly a venomous snake. We do not have ours altered. We do not have, and most venomous keepers don't, we do not have like the venom glands removed or anything like that done. And again, the vast majority of people who keep these don't have those surgeries done because those surgeries are very, very detrimental to the animal in question. So when you do, it's not like a ball python. I'm not just going to pick it up and peel shed off. That would be very, very dangerous for it. I mean, and I could probably do that by pinning its head, grabbing it in a pin stance, and then just working it. But again, it's going to be very stressful for that animal. So what we are likely going to do is soak it and then give it a chance to do it on its own. If it still can't do that on its own, we will soak it again, and then we will tube it so we can properly restrain the front part of its body while we can work without any real issue. And that would be how we would work on removing that skin safely. So let's talk about the snake. What does it mean to me? How does it fit our plans? And why in the holy hell do I have it? And if you keep venomous snakes, or if you've ever thought about it, the question you're going to ask the most by non-snake people is, why do you have that thing? It's going to fill in the blank. Kill you, eat your children, which is funny. I don't have children. Thanks, Mike Tyson. That's a Mike Tyson joke. Mike Tyson was told that if I was going to eat his children, I believe it was Evander Holyfield, who then said, I don't have any kids. So, I love you, Mike. Mike was a crazy place at the time. But he's probably one of the funniest athletes now, or retired athletes. Love me some Mike Tyson. So anyway, they're going to say all these kind of things, and it's a valid question in a lot of ways, because this is an animal that if you're not properly taking care of or properly working with, can in fact hurt and kill you. So the reason it's here is twofold. One is mainly because I want it, and two is because it's part of a breed project, which we actually were required to do to keep these, with a gaboon viper, so we can try to make some gabinos. Oh, you are so pretty. You are. I do have to give you a close look over that retained skin, though, and make sure all the eye caps are actually off and everything else. I see one clearly is. This one I'm not 100% sure about, but we've dealt with that before if we need to. And it's also just a snake I've always wanted. I mean, once I started researching these Bitis species, and Everybody loves a good gaboon viper, and why wouldn't you? They're amazing. Then you see these things, and their color, honestly, their color's better. I like the deep reds they get. They're missing some of the purple hue, but they're just beautiful. And then they've got those spines on their face, you know, the true horns growing out, which will get even longer than they are. This guy isn't very old yet. He's still pretty young. We haven't had him for a very long time. They don't get as big as a gaboon viper. So if you're wanting the big, impressive snake, these are not necessarily the snake for you. They're kind of like a small version of a gaboon. So do keep that in mind. They're going to move like a gaboon, do a lot of things like a gaboon. You're going to keep them very similar to a gaboon. There you go, little one. And they crossbreed naturally. So when we talk about doing hybridization, people always ask me, for hybrids, do you like hybrids? And the answer is it's a mixed bag. And I'm not saying don't do something. You got to do what you want. I'm not a big fan of going and crossing animals from two different parts of the world just because you can. But when they live close by in nature, and that would be a naturally occurring crossbreed that happens in the wild, such as a Gabino or the occasional timber to western, or, you know, all the carpet crosses, even the Carpondros, when you can cross a carpet with a GTP, those things that can kind of happen in certain places, you know, I'm kind of okay with. Am I really a big fan of carpet ball python crosses, which is done recently? Not really. And I'm not saying it's bad. It's just not my jam. You know, nothing wrong with that. Got part of that off. See, it's ready to come off. But this snake is here because it fascinates me. I just love it. I mean, this is a big part of my passion for reptiles. Is these are animals I never thought I could have. I never thought I could keep, and to find out that I'm able to, and I got the experience necessary to do it. I have a location to do it where I don't have to worry about kids coming over, nieces and nephews and things like that, you know, because everything's here in a separate place. Only people here are me, Kurt, and Caleb. Everything's under lock and key. And not just the cage, but the whole floor that they're on is locked separate when folks are here. It allows me to do this very, very safely. And let me take that back. It allows me to do it. What allows me to do it safely is me being careful and not being stupid and trying to follow some proper handling techniques and using my tools and not trying to show off and not, oh, you're getting pissy and wag your tail at me here. I just want you to fall off, little one. But the simple fact is that you're going to end up in the bucket when it's all said and done because we're going to get a bath in there. The simple fact is that it's not safe. This is not a safe hobby. That's not me making something more of it than it is, y'all. How did that get in that bucket? That's just factual. And there's a lot of hobbies that aren't safe. Skiing, not a safe hobby. You can hit a tree. Ask Sonny and Cher, or maybe just Cher. There's a lot of hobbies that aren't safe. You know, my father died fishing. Fishing isn't what you think of as a dangerous hobby. He managed to die doing that, and he loved doing it. So my point I guess I'm making is I do it where it's safe for others, you know. And as far as me, I am taking a risk. Every time I do it, I can mitigate those risks. I can make those risks better. You actually may be wanting to find a girlfriend. Not this season. Next year, buddy. Next year, I think we're ready to go and try that. So if you get into this, accept the risk. But don't be stupid. That's my biggest piece of advice. Do it as smart as you can. Don't be a moron. This actually isn't rocket science. I'm not going to be the guy that sits here and tells you keeping a venomous snake takes a special kind of person and you have to be this and you have to be that, because all that is puffery of people blowing up their own fucking ego. That is not the case. It does not take that. It just takes somebody who's willing to be careful, willing to learn, and willing to go through the proper procedures. That's it. That's it. It ain't. Now, if you want to go like play lasso over your head with a king cobra, a la say somebody like Tyler, that's a whole different skill set, and I'm not the guy to show you how to do that. Ask him. He's pretty good at it, apparently. I am not. I would die. So there's that. But the simple keeping of these, I'm going to tell you, anybody with a passion can do it, but you better be willing to accept the risk that you're going to have in it. You know, whether that's like what we're going to have to deal with now, which would be bathing the snake, fairly simple, to possibly hand removing shed, a little more sketch. You know, If you're not willing to do that, though, don't get one. If you're not willing to lose a hand for this animal because you made a mistake, don't get one. If you're not willing to possibly have your life end because you made a mistake, don't get one. And don't tell me, well, I just won't make a mistake. You're human, so am I. You're going to make them. I've made them. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I've never made a mistake handling a rhino viper or a gaboon viper or a rattlesnake. I've made plenty. I've just been lucky every time I've done it. And I try to mitigate it, and I don't try to invite situations where I can make a mistake. Right now, my whole body is set down and everything has stayed out of strike range. I'm keeping a good eye on his head. As Caleb films, he's staying out of strike range. We're not going to try to tickle its tail or any of that kind of stupid crap because I want to keep the snake for a very long time and I don't want to lose my rights or my body parts. But this thing is awesome. Man, every time I get to interact with it or pull it out, even to bathe it, or it's going to be a pain in the ass, or I get to watch it eat, it's pretty reclusive. It eats very, very well, but it doesn't always like to eat in front of people, or the gaboon just doesn't give a rat's ass anymore. I'm hoping this one gets that way sometime. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But the fact it's so just beautiful and the way they work is just so amazing. My favorite part being that super dark black triangle on its head. I don't know, man. There's no other reason to say that I have it. It's because I want it. We're going to breed it. We're going to sell the offspring. They're, if we have offspring, by the way, if you want to do gabinos, female gaboon, male rhino. Always get your bigger snake should be the female. If you're going to crossbreed anything, just as a rule of thumb. There's not going to be a lot of money in that. That ain't a money-making endeavor. It's being done because it's part of what we need to do to follow suit. But we'll probably use it to just for fun and just to learn and gain experience in watching these things produce, if possible, which would be pretty awesome. Caleb, anything you want to add about this snake?
Not really, other than it's just an amazing, amazing animal. The colors and everything are just truly out of this world.
Yeah. There's not a lot to say about it, y'all, other than just freaking love this thing, And it's one of those things that's here because you want it. And if you have a reptile collection, let me tell you, most of these snakes we pull out, we show to you in this series are going to be, hey, it's a really cool snake. I got it because of this. I got it here. I produced it. I did this, blah, 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 blah. And this is what we're going to do with it. And it's going to push our business this direction. It's going to produce X, Y, and Z. You need to have a handful of things that you have just because you want to have them. It will make you happy in life. It'll make you want to continue doing this as a business. It'll make you want to come down to your reptile facility, whether it's your basement, your spare room, your other house, or your building, whatever the hell it is you've got. It'll make you want to go spend time in there because you want to just be around these animals. It makes those days where it's a grind not suck, because some days are a grind. Some days are. There are days you don't want to fuck with it. That's the truth. We can all say, oh man, I love that idea. And I do love it. And I would rather do this than anything else. But other days I get up and I'm like, shit, man, I got X, Y, and Z to do today? Yeah, there are. This guy makes those days better. A lot better. So does some of the rattlesnakes. So does my gaboon viper, which will get his own video or her own video. All of those things are a big part of what we do and what we enjoy. All right, anything else, Caleb?
Other than just one of my favorite quotes from Tom Crutchfield is, and this is paraphrasing because I can never remember it word for word, but when the keeper and the kept lose fear of each other, something magical happens. And that is truly something you do with venomous snakes. Once you get past you still always are cautious. There's a difference between caution and fear. But when you truly get past the nerves, there's just truly a symbiotic relationship kind of thing where it's just, this is truly just an amazing experience.
And I agree with Tom. I don't fear this animal. I know what it can do. I have a huge respect for what it can do. Its bite wouldn't be as bad as a gaboon viper, to be blunt, but it'd still be pretty dang gnarly. And it would be more than I want to go through. And I respect its ability to do that. And I'm not afraid of it, though. And for as far as is it afraid of me? I haven't heard this thing hiss since. I mean, we saw some tail wagging. That actually could be because the female's close by and he may be wanting to get a little action. I have had him strike at me maybe twice in the whole time I've had him. We're going to go ahead and move to this bucket. I'll put the bucket up here for you so you can see that. That's just because we're going to fill that bucket with some lukewarm bathing water and go ahead and soak him, like I said. He felt all that, and you can see him kind of coil up a little bit. He is in an interesting place that he is not completely used to. Come on, buddy. Woo. I thought he was going to strike at me right there. So why do we use 2 hooks? Is just to help support their body weight. And they're going to be much more comfortable with 2 points of contact. So that's a comfort thing for this snake. And you can hear him hissing a little bit. He's kind of tired of this camera thing. And that's all that's going on there. The 2 hooks is not for me, it's for him. If it was for me, I probably wouldn't be using the world's tiniest snake hook, which is this little guy right here, for that. All right, we're going to give this thing a bath when we film another video, and we're going to hop off here and we'll catch you all next time.